and welcome to another episode of the Credit Authority. And, I feel like I say this all the time, but this time it's really true. I have the best people that come on our show because we get to interview entrepreneurs. But this week we have a special guest. So we have my girlfriend. You guys may remember her, Michelle, the sales diva. But Michelle, the sales diva, right? She's working now for a company doing a product promotion. And I brought my little bottle called Naddy Addy. And with us is the visionary behind Naddy Addy, which is Dr. Steve Warren. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be with you today.
So first of all, I know you guys have seen my testimonials. I'm not one that takes medication. I'm Miss Holistic. It's just not my thing, right? So
Right.
Michelle and I were at a conference a few months ago, and she's shoving these little blue pills at me, and she's going, "Just take one. Just take one. You'll love it." And for me, I'm like, Michelle, we're at a conference. I may have a bad experience. It's leave me alone. Stop being a pill pusher. And she's like, Rhonda, I'm telling you, you need to try these pills. So with that said, I actually brought them home and I gave them to my husband and my son to try first, right? You got to put that out there.
That's right.
And my husband said to me, babe, you work a lot, you get stressed. And most importantly, I can say this, I'm 51. I'm in the heat of menopause and I've been having all sorts of symptoms. So I decided to try Natty Addy. And like I explained to Michelle, I had a fantastic experience. So why don't we start with the vision behind Natty Addy and how you brought it to market?
Well, it's been interesting. I've been a practicing physician for 45 years. Went to medical school at George Washington, got my MD and PhD back in Washington, D.C. Came out to Utah and did a residency for 4 years and ended up in a rural area where I was the only doctor there. I did all the surgeries, the deliveries, you name it. I was the only doctor there. I had to do everything. And then I came back up to in Utah and ran nursing homes for 25 years and got tired of seeing people dying on so many medications. And so I switched over to doing, like you're saying, more holistic wellness, trying to find other approaches to taking care of people. Well, right after we started seeing the post COVID problem with people coming in with brain fog, not feeling good, couldn't focus, losing their jobs. I remember back when I was in the ICUs years ago in the hospitals when we'd have people with traumatic brain injuries or cardiac shock and they couldn't focus their brains anymore. We'd give them IV methylene blue. So I said, well, let me try it. Let me try some methylene blue and see how they do. So I started my patients here with IV methylene blue, and man, within weeks, people's brain fog went away. They got their energy back. They started feeling better. So I started doing more research and realized that this particular molecule has been around for over 150 years, been used in World War I for the soldiers, and since that time, it's been used for a multitude of different items. And we thought, well, if it works in IV form, let's try it in an oral form to see if we can help people, focus better, improve the mitochondria health. And so we started, that was the idea and the concept between Naddy Addy is to get it out there and have people start focusing, feeling better, and giving them that energy they need. Because one of the biggest problems in our country right now is that all chronic illnesses get back to poor mitochondria health. And if your mitochondria aren't functioning at their fullest, guess what? You don't feel good. You have a lot of different problems. And we found out that this particular, basically it's a dye, it's what's used to, dye your genes blue. This methylene blue is the only substance that can go into your mitochondria, bring in the good oxygen, and also take all the bad toxins out of it. So right now, methylene blues, is authorized by the FDA as a substance of use in the emergency room. If someone came in with carbon monoxide poisoning, they give them methylene blue. And so it's been used for urinary tract infections for years. And so when you start looking at the whole concept of what it can do, it's amazing. But getting back to the root process is it's helping improve the mitochondrial health. It brings in oxygen, other substances to the mitochondria, which are our powerhouses that make all of our energy, and then all the the reactive oxygen substances that are left there. They're pulling all out those ROSs, the toxins out of the mitochondria to improve our health, and that's why we're seeing so much benefits in a variety of regions. Is because it's going in there, bringing good things in, taking bad things out.
I love that. And, my own experience, which I actually sent a testimonial to Michelle, was a lot of times, look, I work hard And other people that are listening to this show, they work hard too. And one of the common things that happens for myself is I get really tight neck, a very tight neck. And when you get to that point where you feel the stress, it's then hard to focus on whatever else is remaining for the course of the day. So when I finally succumbed and decided to try Natty Addy, within 20 minutes, and I use it like that, within 20 minutes, my neck pain was gone, my headache was gone, and my focus and clarity had been improved. So, unlike other medications where you feel like it's habit forming or it may not, sit well, for me, what I love is that the prescribed dose is 2 pills. I only needed one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I can take as needed, not something that is required to be taken daily in order for you to have the effect.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that is a nice thing because you don't want to be hooked on something you have to take every day, or when the pill wears out in the afternoon, you get the letdown and don't feel good. And with the Natty Addy, you get the benefits, but you don't get all the negative effects and all that letdown. So that's what makes it so nice. And again, it's building up the mitochondria, so your shoulder muscles go down, your brain starts focusing. So that's what we're trying to do, is it's good for everybody, whether you're a young child to an older adult. Is safe for everybody in the dosages we have, just to help people focus and improve their overall health.
And I would love to add to that, because the reason I got involved on this project is very personal to me. I have spent over $27,000 doing brain balance, different programs for my son. He basically, I don't like labels, but he has all the labels, but none of the labels, if that makes any sense. So I've been to so many specialists and I've tried so many nutraceutical products. I am a huge proponent for trying natural. I'm not into the pharmaceutical drug arena. I never have been. I'm always the girl till 4 a.m. doing research. What's a better way to help my son? Bottom line is that I ran into Natty Addy, and I've tried Adderall too because I have ADHD and I could not stand the side effects. I did not like the side effects when the Adderall came out of you. I did not like how it changed my personality. I did not like feeling agitated, but I was extremely focused. I was able to focus on Adderall. So when I met some of these guys at an event and they told me Natty Addy, I'm like,
you're on mute.
so obviously, did you hear that?
No, you got cut off.
Oh, sorry. So basically, Natty Addy came to me, and I've tried Adderall, and I was skeptical. I thought it was just going to be like a 5-hour energy thing. I took it, and honestly, I'm very analytical with how I feel. I felt like the best way to describe it is like my cells were dancing, and I had a little happiness going on, and I was extremely focused, but I didn't feel any jittery. Kind of like when you take an energy drink and you feel it come on, and you're kind of focused, but you're kind of tired, and you're doing the yawning thing. Natty Addy is completely opposite. It's like it comes into my cells and I'm immediately focused, but in a happy way. So I absolutely loved it. I gave it to my son and I've tried everything, and he's actually smiling. He has been smiling for the first time. He's asking me for his Natty Addy in the morning. So for me, I'm a fan for life. I'll shout it from the rooftops. This is amazing. If we can get people off their ADHD drugs naturally and effectively, that's just one huge plus for this product.
I love it. And I will say that when I had tried Natty Addy, and again, we've purchased it as well, I will agree with you that sometimes you expect there to be a lull, right? When you're coming off of a medication, you expect that, okay, I've now identified that it's expired, right? It's expired out of my system. And what I will say is that when I was, as it wore off, the effect in general cured the initial trigger. So it did not necessarily come back. So if I was having a stressful day or a problem with processing what lay ahead of me, and that stress was the problem, once I took the Natty Addy, and it wore off, let's just use that as an example, my initial symptom was no longer back. So I do not need to take it on a consistent basis. But with that in mind, just because we are running low on time, how does somebody order Natty Addy?
Oh, basically, I can drop the link below and I'll give it to you. But all they have to do is click on the link and they can order it. And if they're a store or they're a convenience store or a smoke shop or anywhere who wants to sell Natty Addy, we have a very nice distribution package to share with you. So you can just reach out to me and I'll share all of that information with you. We'll get it shipped over to you. I'll go over the plan on how you can make money. But basically, this is going to replace rock stars, energy drinks, 5 Hour Energy, all of those things. We're going to have Natty Addy on the shelves of every store. We're just getting started. So thank you, Dr. Warren, for creating such an amazing product.
Well, thank you two for being here. With that in mind, we are getting ready to wrap up another episode of the Credit Authority. Stay tuned for information on next week's show.